get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and it's always drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. This is the first time I'm meeting him. First time he hit me up a few days ago. And I got to give a shout out real quick to my boy, Alley Cat New Money, who actually helped put this together. But this very special guest with me hit me up. I said, hey, go ahead, come on, man. This is all about you. So I just want to give a big welcome to artist, business owner, you name it. He's probably have done it. Welcome to the podcast, Dollar Bill. What's going on?
What's going on with you, man? It's red dollars, blue faces. That's how I'm chasing it.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. How you doing this evening?
I'm great, man. I can't complain. God has been good to me. I'm blessed throughout the midst of a lot of things going on, taking effect right now in my life. But, ain't nothing going to keep me down and ain't nothing going to hold me down. I'm going to get up all the time, stand 10 toes down in that paint because I'm a fighter at the end of the day.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Looks like you're drinking on water tonight.
That's what it is. It ain't no liquor, straight water. I got a lot of discipline when it comes down to drinking. So I don't smoke. I don't do tobacco products. Every now and then is weed. But, as an artist, I'm like, man, listen, weed, all it do is just get you more crazier. It don't let you think how you supposed to be thinking. So I don't start smoking weed and everything. I don't do no tobacco products. Like I say, no cigarettes, no Black & Milds. I don't do no hard liquor. Every now and then I'll do wine or champagne occasionally. And that's how I am when it comes to my diet as well. When it comes to exercising, when it comes to eating different foods, I don't do meats. I don't do seafoods. I do a lot of vegetarian stuff. I do a lot of vegan things. When it comes to me just on a low salt diet and stuff like that. So I'm very disciplined with that as well. And with the working out and stuff like that too.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And y'all, I'm actually drinking my usual Crown Vanilla mixed with Dr. Pepper and cream soda. So I got to drink it, man, because if y'all know me, y'all know I'm a Steelers fan, and I'm upset. I'm gonna be upset till the next game. But it happens. It's football season. You gotta wait a week. Sometimes it can be a few days if they play on the Thursday, but we gotta wait. So that just I ain't doing nothing big. I'm just doing my usual, man. So that's how I gotta ask you a question, man. Have you ever had a vegan brownie before?
Man, it's so many things. It's so many things I have tried, man. But not a vegan brownie. No, I never tried one of those before.
Gotta try it. I'm telling you right now, you gotta try it. It is, to me, it's better than a regular brownie.
Exactly.
No lie. First time I had it was about 2 years ago.
Right.
And I've been hooked on it ever since. So if you ever get a chance, try it, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it.
I'll check that out. I'll take that into consideration and check that out.
Definitely. So, man, let's go and get into it, man. Why don't you let the people know what you do and some of the things that you have going on?
So I'm an entrepreneur by the name of Dollar Bill, recording artist, independent recording artist. I have my own company called the Young Heirs LLC. I provide scented candles, organic soaps, face masks, t-shirts, hats, socks, and lip gloss for women. I also do a lot of short film skits with comedians, actors, influencers. Um, I got a lot of other things up under my belt, like being a chef. I graduated from Miami-Dade College, the Miami Culinary Institute, the Wolfson campus, with my basic skills training course. And that was a very big success for me with Mr. Frank Ferrari, which is the professor. The teacher was Mr. Chef Timothy. It was a great, awesome experience and a great journey to be a student of Miami-Dade College. Um, Also work with people like Mr. Cool, Your Body. I do a lot of short film skits with Frankie Diamonds, the jeweler, out there in Miami. Um, I want to thank Alley Cat, man, for giving me this opportunity because I met him out there in Nashville, Tennessee, and everything. Despite the fact that I was going through a lot of, different kind of things, and he was there to uplift me. He was there to talk to me, you know, to make sure I, communicate with you as well, to get this story out there, to get the true facts about what's going on with my career, what's going on with the music and everything like that of that nature.
So let's start with, because you mentioned culinary, and stuff like that. How did you get into um the arts of cooking and um all of that? What was your beginning story into that?
So cooking was always a part of my life. It always was more than just a passion to me, just like the music is. But as the years went by, I decided to learn different skills and different trades. So I was working for a company called the Overtown Beautification, and that's in Miami. I was starting out, working, as a worker on the job, and there was actually a program that the Overtown Beautification, the CRA, Michelle Spence Jones, and other candidates that was on that board, that made it possible for students to actually go to school, and after they completed their job basic skills training when it came to the job stuff. And that was wonderful, man. That was a blessing for me because I got right into it, focused, very, very determined and very, highly obligated to do what I needed to do for that skill in that trade. It was a great experience. I never thought that I would be cooking and stuff like that in the college, but it happened.
And what was I should ask you this because I like food too. What was like your favorite dish to like prepare?
Well, okay, the favorite dish was a quinoa salad. Um, the quinoa salad, it was actually vegan. It don't come with no meat. It just come with, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. Uh, you get a lot of other things like almonds or raisins and some kind of vinaigrette driftwood dressing. And that is amazing because they sell that downstairs in the cafe, which is called tuyo, which is yours. It means yours in Spanish, at the college, which is a great experience. I had a chance to actually work there after I graduated from Miami Culinary Institute.
And I know you said you basically have many different trades, right?
Yes, sir.
How is it? Why is it so important to have many different skill sets, especially in today's society?
Because you don't know if you're going to have a job doing whatever you're doing. So you have to have multiple ways and multiple skills of getting money. Um, I don't just I don't just do music or wear people clothes for fashion. I don't just, do short film skits and stuff like that. I got other things that I'm great with when it also comes to my hands with using power tools. I do a little bit of everything like demolition, construction work, uh, re re like redoing houses, remodeling houses, laying down tile, doing drywall, stuff like that. So I have multiple skills that I could do. So I'm a jack of all trade, but a master of one.
Okay.
And that's why it's so important now in this society, because you don't know one day if you're going to wake up and not have a job, or you're going to have to go out there to hustle for it, or you're going to have to go out there and work with your hands to get it. You got to get in that field and you got to get dirty with your hands. You got to get in that field, and those are my abilities and my skills that I have been trained with, to progress myself to the next level, to get what I need to get done.
You always hear stories about, especially during this time of the year, right? How people will go to work one day and all of a sudden they probably get an email or something that night saying, "Hey, don't come back to work because we're closed." And you got to think during the holidays, it's kind of like, man, why would y'all do this right now? Right. But that goes to show you that, so a lot really you can't trust employers, right? Because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what if you're gonna have a job the next day. Not at no fault of your own, but you're right. You gotta have some type of skill set, at least one or two to actually help you carry on to where you're not gonna be so dependent on just this one particular job, stuff like that. So
Right.
I definitely agree with you on that. And before we go any further, um, let the people know where they can follow you on social media.
You could catch me at I am_dollar bill on Instagram. You can also catch me on my other Instagram page, which is TYH LLC, which is the Young Heirs LLC. I
All
don't
right. So,
I don't got Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't do Snapchat. I don't do all these other things that all these weird rappers be doing. I just honestly don't like people. I'm very antisocial. Um, my private life is very private when it comes to like places, when it comes to like social media. Like people they just put on for social media, not knowing that, we might not have internet in the next couple of months. Imagine what people are going to be doing when they notice that we are not going to have internet within the next couple of months. Um, because a lot of people, this how they generate their money, through DoorDash, through Lyft, through all these different apps. It's going to be hard for a lot of business owners that's in the market when it comes to Airbnb, when it comes to booking certain things, and people are going to realize that it's no internet. The world is just going to be going crazy, because that's all that they're actually depending on is the internet.
yeah, it's that would be going back to the pre-ages of the internet. Some people know how to survive prior to the internet, so they'll have that skill set of that. Well, they will know how to live without it. They know how to maneuver without it.
Right.
Um, my generation, we're the last generation. Our generation is the last generation to have no internet to bringing in the internet era, the whole tech era. So, we had the pleasure of both. So, that to me ain't gonna phase me. I mean, of course I got my own podcast, so in a way, yeah, but with all things you have to know how to adapt. You
Yes,
don't know how to adapt, you're gonna get left behind. So, so we'll
that's
just
what's,
see
that's what's wrong with people. They tend to live outside of their means, but they don't know how to live with what they got until they could do better. But that's why they don't have nothing, because they so busy complaining about what they don't got. Instead of thanking God for what they do got, they just honestly don't realize what they have. But I do know exactly what it feel like to lose everything and try to gain everything back, because I done been there at rock bottom. I done been there in the trenches, surviving without food, or surviving without lights, or surviving without water. So I know what that feels like. So you could put me in the jungle and I'm gonna survive. I'm a survivor. That's one thing I'm gonna do. I don't know
yeah,
about I don't know about nobody else, but that's what I could do.
exactly, man. It's all about and here's the thing, a lot of people don't like change. Personally, change is a good thing. It's just that you don't want to, you get so comfortable with, what's going on with your life that you don't want to have to adapt to, you know, what's out there now. Right. So it's kind of like when you have a lot of let's just say this whole when the internet, the social media, all that stuff started coming in, a lot of people didn't want it to adapt, especially if you're a business. You didn't want to adapt to it because you didn't see no reason to do it. But now you're like, man, I got to do it now because if I want to continue to stay relevant or I want to continue to grow, I have to change and move all my plans or my strategic plan into this direction. So, I mean, by the end of the day, this world's going to continue on regardless. And sometimes it comes back around, but we have to adapt. You know what I mean? Night and day, you got to adapt. So that's that to me is something that I would say to anybody. Don't be afraid of change because it's going to happen, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
So
it's just some things in life that we have no control over, and that we just gotta let be. And we just gotta let go and let God. Because if we don't let go and let God, and we take matters into our own hands, then we'll be messed up in some very difficult situations that we don't want to be in. So a person like myself, I just do what I can to control, you know, as much as I could possibly can. And the things that I don't have control over, I just learn to let go and let God. You know what I'm saying? Um, Life, it'll be so easy that way, stress free, without drama, without confusion. You sleep better like that at night. You focus better like that. Some people, they just miserable. They don't want change. They don't want to change for themselves because they lost. They still trying to find themselves. So when you do find yourself and you do find uh, you know, your character and your niche within your work and what it is, whatever it is, your occupation that you do, then you would find your success. You would find your way around certain things that are basically not a headache towards you. You'll be able to do them on your own without anybody else helping you. And, with the resources that you actually got for yourself, you will do that, to make that possible.
definitely, that is very, very true, man. If y'all don't get anything else from this podcast, man, from this episode, is that don't be so stressful of things you can't control. Just worry about the things you can, and you know, you'll like you said, you'll be able to sleep better at night. And also don't be afraid to change, to adapt, because it's going to happen, and you don't have no choice but to do it. Whether it's in your personal life or it's your professional life. So it's going to happen. Definitely going to happen because when you think about it, with you being an artist, right? Even the industry had to adapt into today's climate, right? With the streaming and all of that stuff. Um, let's talk about your music. How long you been doing music?
I've been doing music ever since I was 12 years old. I used to record myself off of the old cassette tape players. I used to record myself off of those, and I used to love freestyling and reggae music back then when I was living in Little Haiti. I was living in Miami, Florida, out there in Little Haiti back then when Zoe Pound and Biscayne Zombies was actually popping. They had John Doe, Biscayne Zombies, and Zoe Pound back then. So I come from that era. I come from that era. Inspired by Tupac. Tupac was my inspiration when it came to music, when it came to, listening to music. When Tupac music was so aggressive, it was so it was so chaotic. Coming up then as a teenager when I used to listen to it. I never really actually liked to go to school, so I used to always skip school, and I used to always go up there to the store and shoot dice and play close to the wall with quarters.
When when you first started doing well, first off, let me ask you this. How can you describe your musical style? For those who haven't listened to you before, how can you describe your musical style and what you bring to the table?
My musical style is more of a mellow melody, like R&B, hip hop. It's something like aggressive, but I actually take my time out now to write more than what I actually used to write. I never used to write as an artist. So now I take my time and I do that because it helps me as an artist to understand how I'm saying it, for it to make sense, for me to deliver the right message to the right type of fans that I need to reach out to. Writing is very important, but I started out doing reggae music and I started out freestyling doing that at 12 years old. Um, as the years went by, I was on and off with the music. I actually started to take the music very serious in 2020 when I dropped Old Heads with JR Pinchers.
When when you look back at your journey, from starting the music, right, and you see where the music is today, you get a lot of people that talk about, talk about, the rap is not good anymore. It's the same old, you know, this and that. What would you say to those the fans out there who don't like today's rap?
You know, Today rap is all about drill music. It's all about violence and women getting their body done, and it's just too much in the industry. It's just too much fakeness going on. Everybody, they wanna make trends, or I believe in breaking trends, even if I'll make them myself. I just don't like the way the industry has grown with so much negativity, with so much chaos, with so much violence. Music is not music the way music used to be. So I'm kind of slight older because growing up on music was the old school music is what I used to listen to. Um, it wasn't about the young rappers or the young people. How everybody making music now these days, but they're not making the right music.
When you think about the artists of the past compared to today, right? In the past, it was a thing that you had to be original, right? You had to, you had to do you. Can nobody do you but you? But now it seems like in today's music, everybody is the same. Why do you think artists are afraid to really break out and really just do their own thing? Like is it an image thing? Is it the music thing? What is it exactly?
Artists, one thing about artists, they tend to have, how could you say, a different style from another artist or try to be like another artist. And as long as you being yourself, then nobody they could take that away from you. You want people to give you credit for who you really are, not for somebody that you're portraying or for somebody that you just want to be like. Um, it's just not fair and it's just not right. It's happening every day in the industry. Every day is happening, and it's happening before our eyes, whether we know it or not. So you have to be authentic. You have to be who you say you are, because some people, they still confused on who they are because they still haven't found themselves yet. So it doesn't pay to be like nobody else. I mean, just be normal, just be you. And people, they gonna love you for who you are, and if they don't, then hey, forget about them. That's how I look at it. If they can't accept me for who I am, then what I look like.
Definitely. When it comes to, because you said there's a lot out there now. Everybody wants to be an artist of any genre, right? But there's a lot out there. How much of a factor does the streaming services, from everything from SoundCloud to all these other different services out there, how does that play a part in today's music? Because it's kind of like we're oversaturating, with everybody has music out there now, right? It used to be a time where, you had some sort of quality control, right? But now everybody's doing it. And it seems like people are kind of like getting turned off because there's so much out there and a lot of it is the same thing, just by different artists. What would you say to that?
I come from, like I say, I come from the old school, from when Apple Music, Spotify, uh, iTunes, none of that wasn't even thought about. Coming from the era that I came from, we had CDs, we had cassette tapes coming from that era. So, these different platforms of different type of streaming companies like Spotify, Apple Music, and all these other things like this just start to just take and play right now. Artists, they got all different kind of ways of getting heard. It's all different kind of platforms now. They give you options now these days. Back then we didn't have that. Like I'm explaining to you, we had the CDs, we had the cassette tapes, the Walkmans and stuff like that. So now the artists, they actually have more opportunities to get their music heard. It shouldn't be no excuses or no different way that you could take. I mean, it's simple now. You find one of those, a couple of those streaming companies to upload your music. You put it on there, you pay for it, and you get popping. You get heard. You know what I'm saying? You get out there. Those chances of somebody listening to your music are very higher and very greater than what they used to be like.
Yeah, when you bring that up, it is you have a better opportunity because you could reach far more people, through the services, even through social media, right? You
Yeah,
see a lot of artists put it on social media and you could reach more people through the platform. and things like that. But why is it? Do you feel like a lot of artists um don't really capitalize off the opportunity? They just expect to upload it and just you automatically they think it's going to just really take off. But what is it
Some
because they
artists,
don't? Do you think they don't put in the work after they release it? They don't go, do the groundwork after that, or what's going on with that?
the groundwork's supposed to be started first before you even release any music. You supposed to have your marketing strategy already down pat on how you want to release your music, how much money is going to get you to, how much money is going to take for your music to get heard. You got to reach out to the radio stations, make sure the radio stations are very aware of you releasing some music. And if you're going to be paying the radio station to be spinning your record, then do that. But ain't just no any radio station just gonna spin no record if you ain't paying. It's a lot of artists out here, they get heard just through the radio station or the DJ. Don't never forget that the DJ is the first person that gets the record and play the record, whether he plays it in a club or whether he plays it at a party. And that's how artists get discovered. And don't let the DJ have to take the record to the radio station. They most definitely got you on and popping after that. So it's different ways of getting that music out there and getting that music heard. Some artists they do it with no money. They grinding. I'm grinding. That's what I'm doing. I'm grinding 24/7, 365. It ain't no sleeping with me. I ain't got no days off. I ain't got time to party. I ain't got time to go to no club. I ain't got time to get no drinks. I ain't got time to be in the studio making friends, drinking. When I'm at the studio to take care of my business. I got my 2 hour session, my 3 hour session, and I'm gone. Bye bye. I'll see you. I'll holler at you another week or two from now. But other than that, I don't play with people. I mean business, and I'm standing on business. You feel me? I ain't got no friends at the studio, no none of that. I just want to go do what I gotta do, get up out of there, take care of my business, and do what I need to do. Because after I finish coming from that studio, I would have to make sure that the music now sounds exactly how I need it to sound. So it might go to another studio after it come from out of the studio I just came from.
How important is that have those connections? Because one thing you brought up was the DJs, and a lot of people forget the DJs can really take your music a lot further than what you think. I don't know if you remember this story, or if you ever heard this story about how Shaggy, right? Shaggy had no, he was out prior, but he was kind of like almost forgotten. But he had a song called "It Wasn't Me." I know you remember that song, right?
Yeah,
And actually, you can go back and watch it on YouTube. It talked about how that song landed on a DJ. I guess a DJ found the song and played it in Hawaii. The moment he played that song in Hawaii, it actually blew up there and it started. And all these other DJs was like, "What is this song I keep hearing about?" Right. So the power. How would you describe like the power? You just said it prior. The power of the DJ could really take your music because they have ways to reach the people that you can't. But how is it important to actually make those connections in the industry, the right connections in the industry to get your music heard outside of the streaming platforms and social media?
you got a lot of big DJs like DJ Khaled, DJ Envy, um, it's a couple of them out there, but it's no telling what their different price ranges are to get a record spin or for them to play a record. It might be a party or an event or anything, and they might be playing your record at that event. Um, it all plays a part when it comes to listeners. Listeners is very important, and the way that the game is set up when it comes to iPhone, everybody got an iPhone all around the world. Everybody got an iPhone all around the world. They are screaming the website every minute, every second, every hour. New music comes out every second, every minute, every hour. That's how people be on the internet. That's how the music is gonna go crazy. When you know that it's everybody on the internet at the same time searching for music, looking for music, it's the same thing like YouTube. YouTube is my marketing strategy. So people, they know me from different podcasts. They have seen me on different podcasts and stuff like that. I bring my products on different podcasts and things like that. And that's what people, they know me from. Until I start my own podcast, because I actually had that in mind. But unfortunately, I'm not thinking about it until maybe next year, 2024. Just don't know when I'm going to come out with it yet.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look forward to that. I'm gonna be honest with you. So when you get that together, man, you let me know, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there, listening or watching your very first episode.
yeah,
So that's something I'll tell anybody, man. If that's something that you want to do, just go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Get it set up. It's kind of like it's like music in a sense. You know, you starting off in the beginning, you just trying to figure it out. You know, just by doing it, trying to figure out your sound and how you want to present it. But
yeah.
after you find your footing, I mean, shoot, it's all systems go. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Like I
It's
said,
all, it's all about content, man. Content is the key to everything. The more content you have, the more people you're able to reach out to and work with and network with.
exactly. Especially now. I mean, that's why you see people pushing content 3, 4 times a day. I
Right.
mean, they pushing it. It's basically a full-time job.
It is.
So, you know, and it takes time. It takes time. I know you ain't on TikTok, but I tell you right now, um, for those 15-second, 30-second clips, it could take anywhere from like an hour to about 3 hours just for a small clip. So it it is true. I have a friend who's on TikTok. You know, he has a couple 100,000 followers, and he told me it took him at times it'll take him about 2 or 3 hours just to do a 15, 30-second clip on TikTok.
I believe that.
So yeah,
And TikTok paying, they paying too.
yeah, yeah, they're paying, yeah, but we
Uh,
all know the top creators make the most. So
exactly.
exactly. I also want to ask you this real quick. You remember when you go from we already talked about it, but when it went from like cassettes to CDs, you know, you're selling your music out the trunk of your car, you know, face to face, getting to meet the people and everything like that. Sometimes you'll travel city to city in your region just to get your music heard. Then comes along, you know, with the internet. What was it? Napster came out. Napster came out. Of course, at that same time, you had a LimeWire that came out, and that changed the industry as a whole because a lot of people wasn't. I guess a lot of people got tired of buying full length albums for $20 if they only gonna listen to maybe 3 or 4 songs. Has that actually changed the quality of albums today, starting back then? Because everybody now just is single driven. It's singles driven, but I think it started back then with the change with Napster and then LimeWire that came into play.
So back then, people, they actually stayed in the studio and they had to actually work harder than they actually do now. You can make a song, a single right now, and if you make the right single, and if the fans like the single that you made or whatever, you will get rich and blow up off that one single. The music industry is just like the lotto. Today, you might not win, but tomorrow or 2 weeks from now, you might win it all. It all depends on what you put into it and what you don't expect for it to come out of it. Because when you don't expect something to come back out of something, that's when it least happens. That's when you least expect that's what's good to happen. Because you're putting something into it. And like I say, it takes me back to when I say you don't have control over certain things. So if you know that you play the lotto and you're trying to win some millions off the lotto, some people, they just don't worry about winning. They just play. But maybe one day they might play and then just forget about it and then decide to go back and check it. And that day might just be their day. That's the way music works, especially when it comes to the content. You might make a good record that everybody likes. You might make a record feature with somebody and they might not like you, but they might like the person that you're featured with. And you get fans off of that. Even if it's the other person that they like as an artist, but they just constantly listening to the music. They don't like you as an artist, but they like this person as an artist. So of course, that song, it'll sell more than what you think it usually is going to sell like. It's all about sales when it comes to making music. And so people just don't understand that now these days. Music is a business of selling, of marketing, um, how much revenue that you could bring in within the next couple of weeks or within the next couple of months when it comes to album sales, when it comes to record sales, you know. So that's very important. That is very important. I'm at that stage right now in my life right now where I just take a bet on myself, and I just bet on myself because I like myself over anybody. I bet on myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the kind of quality and quantity that I'm going to deliver to the people, to the fans. You know, so I'm going to bet on myself all the time. You know, is what I call a risk taker.
If there was an artist, right, past or present, that if you ever had a chance to work with, who would that be?
I like Kodak Black. I like Kodak Black. Um, I've been listening to Kodak Black ever since Kodak Black came out. Um, I like the old Kodak Black, but like the person that he has become now, he is more versatile. He's more business sided. You know, he's more business side when it comes to the music. Some people, they just don't care about the publicity, the money, or the fame. Um, he's one of them young rappers that actually support the community, support the people when it comes down to, you know, looking out for people and making sure they got things that they need that people don't have within the hood, within the trenches, the ghetto where we come from. So you got to have your face in the place, you know, where people could see you doing these things, and they gonna remember these things that these good things that you do. So we only do good things to overcome evil. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we stay blessed. We do good things to overcome evil because a lot of people, they do a lot of things that they don't see no wrong in what they do, but they think it's okay to just do it to you. It's okay for them to do you however they want to do you, but you can't do them or treat them how they treat you, because then they're going to just not only fall victim, but they're going to try to play a victim as well.
Exactly, exactly. I'm gonna say this too. Like you brought up the versatile point, right? You seeing artists today, they're not afraid to work with anybody, regardless of what genre of music they're in. I mean, it used to be like hip hop and R&B, but now you got rappers working with country artists, right? and it's you probably seen Kodak Black. Who was that country artist? Uh, it'll pop in my head. I know the song. I know the video, but I forgot who it was. But you seen Kodak Black. Nelly is another one. You see him working with country artists. Do you think it's good for an artist to explore different genres and work with different genres?
Yes, that is very important. A lady told me here, and I'm here in Tampa, so a lady told me at a gas station at a Circle K. She was like, "Where have you been? I haven't seen you in weeks." I told her, I said, "You know what? I'm just coming from Nashville, Tennessee." She said, "What are you trying to do? Become a country singer?" I told her, "Yeah, I might just become a country singer." I thought about it and I laughed so hard because she don't know I rap and that I'm an artist. But when she told me that, that actually motivated me, to want to work with some country singers and stuff like that. Um, I don't just only like hip hop or reggae or R&B. My relaxation music is opera music, is what I really love. Um, Opera music is calm, cool, collect. Um, I could cut that on and I could listen to that for hours, and I could just be zoned out in my own dimension, meditating, enjoying that music. Have I ever been to an opera show? No. Would I plan on going to one? Of course. I feel like it's very much worth it to go to one. Um, I just don't know when will I be available to go to one, or when will that time presents itself for me to go to one. But I'm definitely looking forward to going to one because opera music is the best kind of music to listen to.
When a lot of times people, I think it kind of started back. I'm trying to think who was the first. I mean, yeah, Run DMC and Aerosmith would Walk This Way. A lot of people didn't think it was going to work, but it worked. A lot of times people don't see the actual vision because of the two different styles of music and like put them together. But when you actually hear it, you actually get great music because you could take a piece of each and combine it and make it work. And now you start seeing it more today, with um I think that's his name, Morgan Wallen, country artist. I think he worked with Kodak Black.
Right.
And it was another country artist too that worked with Kodak Black. See, I told you this stuff was gonna come back to me, so but you start you start seeing artists not being stuck in a box like how they used to. Like if you're this one thing, this is what you are. But now you have artists who's willing to expand. Do you think it's because we've been exposed to more music because of today with the technology and everything? We can actually listen instead of being like shoved one thing into our face based on our race and where we come from and all of that.
Well, okay. The way with the record labels, okay, so the record labels, they might like me as an artist, and then they might not like somebody else that I record a song with. So they might want to sign me, and they might not want to do business with the other artists that I'm making a song with. So that's how it works when artists works with different other artists. It could either bring their reputation up, they could also lose their reputation by working with an artist. It depends on the listeners, and it depends on how much they are marketing themselves as an artist, and if they're serious about their business as much as you think they are. So I say, you know, record labels, it could get very sticky with record labels. It could get very sticky with record labels. And Record labels, they try to control a lot of artists. This is the main reason why certain independent artists like myself is not signed. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I don't have time for a label to have me on a puppet stand to control me a certain kind of way that they would like to control me. I would like to have creativity ways of improving my skills as an artist. Um, and that's what's going to make me stand out to be the artist that I want to be. I'm not going to cut my hair for no label. I'm not going to change my image for a record label. I'm not going to do none of that. Um, it just get very sticky with the record labels and artists. That's why. That's why they go outside of their means. That's why they go outside of their contracts, and that's why it's a lot of sketchy things going on with labels. So artists, they got to be careful with what they're doing when it comes to these labels. These labels, they have a lot of terms and conditions. They have a lot of things that they set standards for when it comes to the artist. So yeah, that's just very self-explanatory, transparent right there.
Yeah, it's I think now more so with a lot of independent artists, um, I think they could be able to, like you said, work freely and really be creative with their music and stuff like that instead of being controlled by the big labels. Because that's what they're going to do. When they sign you, they basically say this is what you're going to do. I mean, even though you're an artist, but we're still in control.
Right.
So, I agree with you on that one. Um, you are pretty much brought it up. The music business is it's a little iffy. Well,
Yeah,
a lot of iffy. So, we all heard stories. We've all heard stories. We all know Prince told stories. Michael Jackson was telling stories. So you have a lot of artists telling stories. So I mean, if you're able to stay independent, stay independent. But
yep.
I'm not gonna tell you not to take a major because we don't know your situation. So as long as you could get a deal that's right for you, you know, and it helps you get on that platform, you know, who am I to tell you to not do it? So by the end of the day, it's a business.
It's a business.
It's a business. So just make sure your business is right to where you can do what you can do and have a successful career and
Right.
everything like that. Man, all right, so let's talk about you personally, right? Your journey from as a kid to now as a man. Um, I know you pretty much you're a family man now. Uh, you already said you're a jack of all trades and everything like that. Um, describe your personal journey from growing up all the way to now. Your story.
So I had a lot of hardships coming up. When it came to the trenches in the hood with a lot of struggling. Um, I saw a lot of things at an early age. I started hustling at a real young early age. And I didn't chose this way of life as a child, but this way of life chose to pick me as a child. So it's a lot of things that I've seen in my eyes that young children don't particularly normally see at an age. I almost seen my mom get her life taken away. Um, when I was young, I seen a lot of things when it came to like the hustling trade, when it came to hustling on the streets, when it came to surviving, when it just came to a point to me just surviving, you know, just going to church every Sunday with grandma. I used to go to church and, play the drums, sing in the choir, stuff like that. All that played an important part in my life. Uh, having a lot of discipline when it came to me being around a lot of men, a lot of my uncles, and a lot of my cousins. Um, my grandma used to have one house for the gentlemen, the boys and the men, and one house for the women and the girls. And the men and the boys couldn't stay in the house that the girls and the women was in. We had to stay in another house. So yeah, I was very big on discipline. If I didn't get it from my grandma, my mama gave it to me. My mama ain't give it to me, my daddy gave it to me. And my mama used to say, you know what, you're gonna do two things. You're gonna do two things. You're gonna either go to school or you're gonna go to work. And she said, if you don't want to go to work and you don't want to go to school, you got to get up out of here. And then ever since then, on my own at 11, 12 years old, I was on my own. I had my own place at that age. Um, I was working, hustling on the streets until I could find a 9 to 5 to make ends meet before I could start paying for a light bill. I did everything early, pay for a light bill early, pay for rent early. I was feeding myself, I was clothing myself. So I know what it is about surviving. I know what it is about struggling. And so I structure myself a whole different kind of way, and I look at life on a different route, from how I used to do things and the level that I'm have come to, the stage that I have come to right now as a grown adult, as a strong man of 5 children. You know what I'm saying? And anything is possible, man, as long as you just put your mind to it. There's a lot of successful people that came from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Do that make them different? No. Do that make them perfect? No. But everybody is still human at the end of the day. They bleed just like I bleed, and everybody is still human.
That's what's up, man. A lot of people a lot of times the people don't really like sharing their own personal stories, stuff like that. I always feel like I'm intrigued by it because when you see somebody grow, it's kind of like you want to know where it came from, their passion and their and why they're so driven. Whether it's in their personal life or in their professional life, why they're so driven. And I just want to say to you, even though this is the first time we're meeting, I'm proud to where you are right now. Coming from where you're coming from to doing what you're doing right now. So more and more success to you. And like I said, hopefully, when your name is in bright lights, I could say, hey, I understand the journey that he took to get to this point. So I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much, sir. I definitely appreciate that.
Definitely, man. Well, look, man, we coming towards the end of the episode right now. Dollar Bill, I just want to say thank you for coming on and everything like that. Any plans for Thanksgiving?
Well, I don't got any plans for Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I'm working on some new music. I will make sure I get that out to the fans for these next couple of Fridays in December. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna drop it, but just know I'm coming at y'all. Miami, Atlanta, Tampa, Kentucky, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago. Y'all link with me and just holler at me because we going all the way up. We about to turn up to the max. Next year is gonna be a cold summer, a hot summer. So y'all get ready for it because I'm coming right at you to a city near you. It ain't no pump faking. It ain't no stunting. It's red dollars, blue faces is what we chasing, and that's how we getting it.
That's what's up, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on social media for all anything he's gonna put out there. Just please follow him on Instagram because he got some big things coming, and y'all should pay attention to what he's doing. All right, because it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out hard in your face. And I'm telling you,
like y'all know, stop playing crazy. Dollar Bill, that's the new wave right now. And I'm taking over everything. Short film skits, short film commercials, actors, influencers, models, actors. Y'all gonna be seeing me in a whole lot. It ain't gonna be no letting up with me. So whenever you see me in something, y'all just know I'm coming to a city near you. It ain't no pump faking.
He's coming, y'all. He's telling y'all right now. He's coming. All right. Once again, thank you, Dollar Bill, for coming on the podcast. Y'all make sure y'all follow him. Also, y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. For Dollar Bill, I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids deny. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.